Hi guys, this is Cheechorito back again with another episode on Cheechorito. Sorry I kind of vanished out of nowhere, into thin air for probably a couple of months, but apologies for that because I've been actually exploring insurance, and as you know, I've actually announced it, and actually took around 2 to 3 months to explore it, but I find that it's not really my cup of tea, and I'm actually making more content after this, right? So it's not just about investments, I guess, more towards personal growth, development, and things like that as well. But without further ado, today's video is gonna focus more on transferring from InstaReM to your IBKR account. So a lot of people have actually asked me, how do you actually do this? So people actually find it confusing, going through forums or articles, things like that. So I'm trying to make a video, but it's gonna be using PowerPoint slides, but it's still gonna try to simplify the whole step process, as well as diving in on certain parts of the details where where it really matters. So let's go right in on how we do this transfer. Hope this video will be a useful one for you, for those out there wanting to do this transfer through InstaReM, and they find banks not giving a good rate, or banks limiting their transfer because of the forex regulations surrounding our country. Enjoy. So, as per tradition with any Cheechorito videos, I'm gonna show this disclaimer here for a few seconds so I do not get sued by anyone whatsoever. Yes, we've got to stay safe in this world where things can go crazy. But I bet no one's gonna read this, so let's move on. So, before we do get into the nitty-gritty parts, all the details in terms of how you do this and that, I'd like to actually run you through the overview of this whole video. So we got 4 steps in total. So step 1, as you can see with the notification bell there, you got to notify IBKR. So IBKR here stands for Interactive Broker. You got to notify Interactive Broker of your transfer first. So you got to tell them through the app or the website. Step 2, you got to log in to your InstaReM account and initiate the transfer. So you got to log in, tell them how much you're going to transfer. Let's say 1,000 USD, and you just tell them that yes. You initiate it, and after that, you got to key in the recipient details and complete the transfer initiation on InstaReM itself. Once that is done, then you transfer money into InstaReM's account, and InstaReM then transfers it to IBKR. I hope that is clear enough for this part. So, as we mentioned earlier, we gotta notify IBKR, but before that, of course, you gotta log in first. So log in with the username and password that you have, and this is assuming that your IBKR account is already, okay to start receiving funds. So after you click the login button, you'll notice that there's a tab there, and oops, yes, there's a lot of sensors there, because confidential info. Nonetheless, click on the tab with the 3 lines, and it will lead to a drop-down list. There'll be a transfer and pay. Click that. Lead to more drop-down lists. Click on transfer funds. You'll see that transfer funds, you have the option of either deposit or withdrawal. In your case, you're starting off, it's a deposit. Click on that, sort out what currency you want. So in my case, I'll do an example on HKD, which is Hong Kong dollars. Click on that, and click on how to wire funds. There should just be one option for HKD if I'm not mistaken. And you go in, and it will tell you that okay, you're making a deposit. Do you want to save the bank info, for future use, for repeated use? Of course it's a yes, unless you plan to just do this once, then click no. And for the sending institution, account number, nickname, and others, I'll have the upcoming slide to explain this. So as you can see here, this example that I did. So in this case, since we're doing through InstaReM, so our sending institution is InstaReM. It doesn't have to be capital letters with R and M. They are not too particular with that. Account number in this case is optional, so we didn't put in there, as in me. Account nickname will be what you want to remember it as for your future transfers. So as you can see, currency HKD, and for the deposit amount, the amount here actually depends on how much you plan to transfer over. So in my case, because I actually wanted to transfer a certain set amount of ringgit on Instagram, so I actually basically went to the site, I key in this amount, and it told me that the receiving party will receive 9232.27 Hong Kong dollars. And we like to make this a recurring transaction. No, of course not. I don't want to make it recurring every month or every week. So once everything is done there, click create deposit. So by doing that, you are actually, in a way, notifying IBKR of this transfer already. As can be seen here, a notification has been created, wire deposit into your trading account. And IBKR will provide you the details which you have to key in into InstaReM after this. So I'll be going through how do you key in these details into InstaReM in a bit more. Moving on to step 2, which is just logging into your InstaReM account. So log in, decide how much you want to transfer, and just initiate it. It's just as easy as that. So once you log into your dashboard, Cheechorito page setup. So as you can see, just now there was the amount 9232.27, right? Because I have 5,000 ringgit. So when I key that in, it will return me this. Also, you can do it the reverse way. Let's say you understand, 10,000 HKD, and it will tell you how much ringgit you've got to, bank into them in order to do the transfer. So what I like about InstaReM is that, once you key in that value, this is really the value which the recipient will get. So it's already including all the fees. As you can see, the fees included is 22.5 ringgit, and this is the exchange rate at that point in time. So once you're good with the rate, you're good with how much you're getting, you can compare with your typical TT, which is your telegraphic transfer fees through your bank, and see whether you are okay. If you're okay, just click initiate transfer. So I trust the earlier steps are super easy. So now I'm gonna go into sort of a maze in terms of keying in details. I think a lot of people will attest to this once they try keying all the recipient's details. So click on plus add recipient. So as you can see here, I've actually added it before, but in your case you won't see anything. So you just have this option here. Click on that. And depending on which currency that you want to transfer, the details which was provided by IBKR will be different. So for example, let's say it's Hong Kong, then it could be Citibank Hong Kong, with their address and account details. But let's say transfer to Japan, it could be at another bank, or if it's Citibank, it could be Citibank in Japan with their own address. So do take note on that, alright? This address which I'm showing after this wouldn't apply to all bank branches. So without further ado, let's move on to adding a new recipient. So as you can see here, once you click into the add new recipient, there's recipient type, country and currency. So you fill it in as corporate because you'll be transferring to a corporate account which is actually owned by IBKR. In my case, it will be Hong Kong, but just make sure it correlates to what you're doing. If you're transferring to Japan or let's say Singapore or any other countries, because the US actually had some issues based on lawyer. So key in the country Hong Kong, Hong Kong dollars for me. So moving on to the company details, which is just below. You want to send money to who, company, yada yada yada. Just hold on, let me skip to the next page. So you can see recipient type. Oops, sorry, this was from previous. But anyhow, company details. So sending money part will be to yourself because it's your brokerage account. So you regard it as personal account. Company name in this case will be Interactive Brokers LLC. Make sure to cross-check this with IBKR's provided details. As far as I know, there were a few the countries where I checked it was the same, but best to double check that. For the trade name, it's actually the same as the company name because I don't think it's any difference. For the number, IBKR in their case, actually they don't really put their phone numbers there. They actually prefer you message them securely through their app or website. Nonetheless, I just basically googled what IBKR Hong Kong's support number was. I just threw it in. So this is not really important. For email side, I actually put in TradeStation's email because they are our middleman broker, so they are in a way in charge of any issues that we do face. So I actually put their number there. Email there. For the bank details, as shown in the previous screenshot in probably some time ago, where we saw that they asked us to transfer to Citibank NA. So when you key in this, it's actually not shown here, but there will be actually a drop down list here. So I actually just selected it, and the bank code will automatically key in as 006. So just make sure that this here corresponds to what you have seen in IBKR website earlier. And for this one, you have to key in yourself. So this will also differ based on which country of IBKR's bank account you're transferring to. So once you're done with all that, just click save and continue. You will see this one here where they ask you where your funds are coming from. In my case, I'll be transferring from my Hong Kong account. I'll be doing a bank transfer. It's for investment shares. Most of my funds are from salary or wages, and you just click authorize transfer. And if you have to click FBX transfer, it's no different, and I think the fees are the same as well. I think it's $22.50 as well. Anyhow, if you click authorize transfer, yes, mobile verification pop-up will appear telling you that we have sent a 6-digit code. It's like your OTP thing where they send the code, you key it in, you verify, and yeah, it's done. And then you go to step 4 where you transfer the money to InstaReM and wait for them to transfer to IBKR. So once you have actually gone through this stage here, this thing will display, but at the same time you'll get it in your inbox as well in case accidentally close the page. So what you gotta take note is this thing in red. That's all, where they tell you, okay, InstaReM's account is under OCBC, this is your address, this is your bank account name. So what you gotta do is just go to your bank app or website, log in and just key in this account number and just make sure that the account name tallies with this, and then just transfer the amount. Like in my case it was 5,000 ringgit, so I just transfer 5,000 to InstaReM and then just do the transfer. So yeah, that's about it. You are done just like that. And just to highlight as well, for the transfer, it took me like probably around, I remember it was like 3 hours within the same business day. It was pretty fast. I think one of the most efficient methods that I found. So yeah, that's about it for today. Hope it wasn't too draggy. I'm trying to make this as quick and as simple as possible. Do like and subscribe if you think it was helpful to you. Share it out to friends, family, or anyone at all. And click the bell icon if you think you want to see more. Thanks for watching, and see you again next time. This is Cheech signing out from Cheechorito, where personal growth meets finance.